Welcoming you back to crypto's juiciest news, baby dolls. Bombs away. Donald Trump, is he going to start a war with Iran? Unfortunately, we have to deal with this stuff out here. What's going on with the Evil Genius Stablecoin Act? Did Thailand make some tax rules that look pretty juicy? Couple of things going on, friends, out here, including even Kraken going to launch another Ethereum layer 2. I've got a lot of juicy news coming here your way. Let's check out the Bitcoin price. The monthly candle, 104,000 American dollars. It is still a doji, and there's not really much else we can do. We just have to let this political uncertainty navigate itself. This is the Ethereum chart. Bit of an indecision candle on this monthly. We've got quite a while to go. I won't be surprised, right? We just see a big fat flash up soon because Ethereum is really ready to go. We're all ready to go. We've been ready to go for a very long time. It's just the business cycle. Unfortunately, it's very sensitive to any of these world news. Do you remember when I showed you this, friends, the daily chart? I showed you this. Look at this. It's now coming back down. So we've already seen, you know, Bitcoin coming out here. Just in case there is some sort of escalation. Okay, just be careful. As I'm saying, just be careful. Just like we're mentally ready. You know, if you wake up and you see something where, like, you know, a Bitcoin is like, you know what I mean? Like, oh no, just, you know, just part of the rinsing out, part of the cheating, part of how it works. Okay, we just need to go through this stuff out here, part of doing the whole ABCD stuff. This is the ETH BTC chart. It's very sad that this thing has just been down for so long, and this is basically, this is the pump you get. This is not literally nothing, okay? It's still very bad. But it's not Ethereum per se. It's more to do with soy. Also the business cycle. Once again, always comes down to the business cycle. But what's also interesting is the crypto market cap. 3 trillion looks really cheap. It looks really cheap, man. Should be 10 trillion, I think. 10 trillion. And by the way, you know, markets, we overprice ourselves. Like, momentum builds up. We go price in the future a bit too much, usually. So, like, are we worth 10 trillion today? How much are we really worth? Well, we got to see all the real world assets, the tokenization, and everything coming out here. Remember, friends, JP Mosquito launching their own stablecoin super cycle. Look at these Ethereum weekly chart, bro. Have you ever seen anything like this? You'll never see anything like this. This is freaking wild. That's wild, man. It's like, friends, it's telling you it's ready to go. You know, this whole thing is literally pretty much telling you this was all manipulated scam. All of this. It should not have been down here. Okay? Not have been down here. So you might get the bears pooping each other if we get some sort of continuation up, which we're all praying for. I mean, we really are praying. It's been a long time. It's been like, every day I tell you, it's been a very long time. The Bitcoin dominance still literally up only. Most altcoins are weak. Come on, bro. Literally, look at these signals I grabbed for you, man. It's just when I read this, I found this article was live while I was recording. I was going through it. I remember it was one of my Twitter doom scrolling. What an amazing show. What an amazing session to have for you. Highest value content in crypto. It was beautiful. You got to watch it in real time. As I catch you with my Pokeball. Got you. You got to literally see it in real time. It just appeared right there. And I was like, oh my gosh. You can just see my face change in there. I'm like, alt season is dead? What? Why Bitcoin Treasury stocks are the new altcoins? I was like, I immediately dismissed it. I go, bro, this is like, okay, we've got just too many signals now. Now we are in, I am feeling very scared for the first dip buyers of Bitcoin now. We're that bad of a territory, okay? So it's going to be something out here. You never know. It does something like that. Okay? But when's it going to happen? I don't know, man. I don't know. Ask Trump. Ask Iran. All of these missiles and bombs pretty much putting a delay on everything. That others BTC chart speaks volumes itself, right? 7 red monthly candles in a row. Still garbage, man. Like, it's how much lower are you going to go? Just forever down, forever and ever. Liquidity is so thin out there, man. It really is thin. We check out the global liquidity cycle once again. We look at this. It isn't wild. This fractal said we're going to be going sideways until pretty much the end of June. And then we're ready to go up. Maybe we're just hovering around here. So whatever happens from here, it's completely outside of our control. Also interesting, SOL-eth ratio, it's kind of funny, man. It was literally teetering on the edge. It had not flipped red. Teetering, teetering, teetering. Look, 3 times. I told you to go do these things. It's pretty much, you know what's coming. You know what's coming. Bang, here it is. It's still got to close here, though. So it's kind of a sign about the exhaustion of, you know, what the JPEG casino is. It's more like a JPEG supercycle on PumPFun. Remember PumPFun? Their Twitter account got banned. There was rumors that they got arrested. But we think they were just abusing some of the APIs for Twitter and stuff. And I'm not exactly sure how they were abusing it. But it's kind of... What we heard was they were abusing it in terms of like the information they were collecting off the API using maybe multiple accounts. It costs $40,000 a month, I think, to actually run it. Now, you say, oh, that's a lot of money. Maybe you'd scam it too. Yeah, but I reported literally a couple of hours ago, friends, PumPFun have dumped $750 million of soy. Right? They have literally been dumping on the entire soy community for an enormous amount. And isn't it crazy that Solana's just been able to distribute on them? Right? So just showing you when there's enough volume and activity, people can do graceful exits like that. Right? But it takes time. It takes time and it takes a bid. This is the soy BTC ratio. This is bangers. You're too poor to stay Soylana girl's house. Neck tattoo soy. We'll see what happens when it comes to these. I'm not saying Ethereum is the way, the truth, the light. It's just EVM, stablecoins. That's where the money's coming. Now, yesterday we saw a wild pump in ink on PulseChain. And sadly, already, the entire move got erased immediately. So ink was up 36% and it came all the way back down. Everything is just still literally doing nothing. This is some garbage stuff out here. Let's actually check out the 24-hour move. There you go. Everything pretty much retraced. It's pretty poopers out here because Ethereum and Bitcoin and everyone's just waiting around to see what happens with this war stuff. I want to know what you think. What do you think about the war? You think it's a load of baloney? You think there's going to be a resolution? What do you think is really going on? Feels very strange, right? America doing the bidding. It would be kind of funny if we found out just Mossad just like literally has blackmail honeypot stuff on literally every single US president. It would be kind of funny if we figure out that one day. So I've got some Kraken news here for you. Let's go. We have Trump warning against attacks on civilians or US soldiers, stating they know the location of the supreme leader and will not target him now, but patience is running thin. So it's pretty much, you know, sending out the threat. I'm just giving you these things as they all get reported out here. So then he continues, President Trump is seriously considering joining the war on Iran and launching a strike against its nuclear facilities. So I think we've all seen this before. We don't believe it now. There's too many people who don't believe it. But then again, we've got to be careful because we're in the red pill bubble, right? It's more of an island, not a bubble. It's more of like the crypto island, yeah? We know this game, okay? Like top down, left, right, inside out. Yeah, we know all of this is Fugazi PsyOps. Most of the population are sitting in chairs that don't squeak. They're sitting in chairs that can only be accessed through a hotel lobby, up the elevator, third door on the left when you get to the second floor. Okay? Corner of the room, facing the bed. There's your wife. There's her boyfriend. There's her other boyfriend. And then even her third boyfriend right there. So those hotel cuck chair enjoyers, that's most of society. Blue-pilled. Okay? They think they know the answers to everything. They don't know shit. They're quoting Neil deGrasse Tyson. They're just state-sponsored cucks. Okay? So I do wonder, friends, do you have any normie friends to maybe ask, what do they really think about it? Do they think it's all BS? You know, are they actually believing a lot of the stuff? It's very easy to feed people this information because people just don't have alternative media. That's why they just don't cover alternative media. That's why maybe we're changing and evolving over time. But what we've actually found is the government's pretty much, we've already found, right? The government's got, they've already got advanced AI. So I'm not even going to guess this. I'm 100% certain. I mean, I'll bet all three of my testicles on this. They already have the AI trained where it's state-sponsored answers. So 99.9% of all information you want, it's cool, it's amazing and stuff. But then there is the sweet spot of real truths and everything's out here where they'll give you the state-sponsored, the blue pill answer to stuff. Like for example, they think that we're all going to believe that a bat had sex with a Pokeball and then made a mysterious zombie virus out there. And it's just a total coincidence that the fertility rates of women of every race and nationality in the world dropped on this vaccine. Or the virus itself. Every race in the world but 2 races. Chinese women, their fertility increased. And Israeli women, Ashkenazi Jews, I think, their fertility increased. Okay, so, you know, what are the chances of that happening? Think about the odds. You know, well, your blue pill cuck, you know, your Grok answer or your ChatGPT answer would be like, oh, that is totally within the possibilities of occurrences that can happen. So we're already seeing this stuff occur out here, right? We also saw, friends, breaking news here happen. The Evil Genius Act has passed the Senate. So this is related to stablecoin supercycle. I'm covering it because it confirms our thesis once again. I'm going to have to give you more updates on it again. Now, remember, it's called the Genius Act, but I've written the word Evil Genius because it really is. Because it's Stablecoin Act. So it makes all stablecoins illegal unless you go do this long-winded regulatory process. You give all your info to a bank. Yeah, you got to have a blacklist function. You got to have all this stuff. You got to give it to the authorities. And on top of this, if you go through all the hoops and all these other things, you can't hand out yield. It's illegal to hand out yield on your stablecoin. Yeah. So the banks bribe the politicians to put this in there. They write the laws, friends. They do. I mean, I've been reading about this for like literally freaking a lot since the beginning, friends. Many years. Since day one, I've been hearing from like the Young Turks and just everyone else out there, all different facets of, you know, American politics. They're like, oh yeah, the bank, yeah, they bribe the politicians and they write the laws to give themselves all the favor, you know? It would be like you ran a centralized exchange and then you made it illegal for every US citizen to use a DEX. You know, you're like, oh, DEXs are illegal. They're unsafe. Could be an Iranian kid trading there. You know what I mean? So you have to come to my centralized exchange, right? So they just write the laws for total power. So the stablecoin supercycle, once again, is confirming it strengthens PDI's product market fit. It strengthens PulseChain's product market fit. These are blue ocean areas, blue ocean demand. This is the PDI price. Still skitzing around here, doing the ABDC junk out here. How much would it be up to 3 cents from here? Wow, 13x. How much would it be if it got to a whopping 10 cents? 48x. 480x away to $1. That'd be beautiful if we did get that. Just going to show you now the, yeah, being disappointing to see the price action and everything out here. We saw an ink sweep up. Some guy with a $500,000 account put $460,000 into incentive token, which sent it up 36%, and then it's come back down already. So this is pretty much it. One giant wick. Let's actually go look at it. So we all got really excited, like, yay, this is it. Like, oh, wow, cool. And then all the way back down. Can't sustain it. Told you, man. Correlations in the business cycle. That's right. That's just what happens to this. You know, we all have to go up together. We need, you know, what we call like a big breadth of pushing up. This is the PulseChain price. Man, if you just count, friends, look how many red candles we get. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We only got 4 green candles, 1 red, 2 green, and now it's back to 5 red candles in a row again. Oh, well, nothing else you can do, man. Just got to wait and hope and cope. Now, the stablecoin supercycle continues. There aren't too many options to participate in, but I still give you, friends, a very, very transparent and open. There are different ways to play that, right? You can play, you know, you can buy XRP. You can buy Chainlink, you can buy Ethereum, you can buy ENA, you could buy EtherFi, gaining exposure. Obviously, not financial advice. Don't lose your shirt. Go speak to a financial advisor. I mean, they'd probably tell you to get out anyway. But I'm just telling you, these are your options. Like, so if I was looking at this scope and I was to write, like, you know, a PowerPoint slide for a university classroom, and I'm like, oh, these technically, I guess, would be stablecoin supercycle. You want to witness this in real time. Yeah. You also have MakerDAO, MKR, just governance token. You know, and then you have Circle shares, Tether, and see, that's funny. There's more options appearing. You know, more options. But my favorite is PDI. Yeah, because what we actually saw yesterday, friends, I might find a screenshot here for you. We saw there were some pumps. So this was obviously on the way up when I'm about to show you the screenshots, and you can automatically see the Farts Law bonding. So see how Inc is up 36%, Pulse is up 12%, PDI is up 11. See that? See Pulse up 12 because of the bonding with Inc, and then PulseX up 18 because it has even more bonding with Inc, and you have PDI and Hex up. See, everything goes up together. Perfect example of that, right? Shout out to Baby Dolls as well, straight in the comment section. They go, amazing how fast it got sold down. Yeah, also, like, amazing. Like, you know, amazing we went bid in the first place when you have, like, you know, this fake World War III FUD going on. But yeah, you see how that happens in real time? Well, that's why, friend, that's why when I tell you as well, from here, you can look at the PDI to Pulse ratio, all right? So that's PDI USD. I'll change the PDI Pulse ratio. It's trading at a value at around 78. So even if this is the thing, if see how it's moving one to one with Pulse. If Pulse does a 50x from today, Pulse, PDI, I guess will do around, you know, it could do just off that alone, just 50. Okay, it's thinner liquidity and smaller. You know, it does 50 as well. And it would that if they both went 50, your ratio still stays at 78 value. All right. So what would a 50x from today do? Bring about to about 10 cents. It would bring PDI to about 10 cents, which is exactly what we just went through. So if you're bullish on Pulse, the native spear, you're bullish on everything in the ecosystem. Yeah. Now, of course, you could draw many examples. It's not a guaranteed win. Nothing is. Because you're taking risk outside of the native layer 1 coin. So you're further along the risk curve. So there's going to be winners and losers. I mean, look at Ethereum. Look at Soylana. Just because Soylana's price went up, I mean, there are, you know, hundreds of thousands, millions of JPEG coins that just, you know, they're dead already after like 5 minutes of existing, you know. Same as Ethereum, right? There's not going to be every winner just because you're linked to Ethereum, okay? But that's why I'm telling you in a very family-friendly way that PulseChain is a blue ocean chain. The competition is low, yeah? There's not many things to pick from. So we have the best stuff already. Look, we can see it. You get it? So please also remind you, sharpen your elbows every single day, friends. These elbows will break the back of any bear you put before me. Okay? Ha! So that's why it's a blue ocean area, friends. In Soylana land, like if any KOL farts, they go make thousands of coins of it. Like for example, when Alon, the PumPFun founder, when the accounts pretty much got suspended off Twitter, there was literally like 25 Alon jailed memes. Literally just 25 immediately appeared as soon as it was deleted. Everyone's trying to like grab the mind share. That's quite crazy, man. Like to every meme, every idea, you have like 25 people trying to grab everything straight away. You see? So that's red ocean. There's sharks everywhere. And which one wins? Well, I guess whoever has the biggest investment at the start to rinse the most amount of people. Because they make it like a factory. They have KOLs. They've got the spaghetti pasta here, LA Vape Cabal. They've got their audience members who love performing fellatio on them and fellatio on their feet. You know, you got these weirdos and these kids stand for nothing, pencil neck noodle arms, right? Probably just like addicted to benzos all day. These types of losers out here, right? So that's what happens. Red ocean. Okay. And it's like basically who wins? The biggest grifter. The biggest grifter wins. Because to get everyone's attention at the start, you have to have a big megaphone. But to have a big megaphone costs money because you got to be in with all those the bigger people, and you got a lot of hands to feed. Right? So compare that to PulseChain, man. Blue ocean chain. Now, of course, if you're a crybaby, you say, "Oh, there's no one here." Yeah, bro, but go to New York in 1750, bro. No one's there either. It's a patch of grass. Oh, no one's here, man. See, it depends, friends. Like, if you're a billionaire you want to go live in New York, okay? If you aren't a billionaire, you want to go live in New York 100 years ago. You get what I mean? There's a difference, right? There's different ways to explain it. You have portfolio diversification or concentration. You know, if you diversify, cool. If you're rich, it keeps you rich. But if you're poor, diversifying is not going to get you anywhere. The Genius Group have added 34 Bitcoin, boosting its Bitcoin treasury to 52% and now holds 100 Bitcoin. The company maintains its target to accumulate 1,000. So once again, Bitcoin treasury bubble continues. It'll keep continuing. They'll keep having a bid. People continue to do it. I will just tell you though, none of them have seen a world where Bitcoin dominance is falling. None of them have. Okay, they're not looking at the charts. Okay, I wonder what they're going to do. I wonder if they do a 50-50 split by the end of it. They go, let's make it a crypto treasury, not a Bitcoin treasury. Let's rename it to a crypto treasury. Let's put Bitcoin and Ethereum on there and earn yield. And then they start doing DeFi, right? That'd be crazy. Thailand, friends, otherwise known as Thailand, not to be confused with Shirtland. Very forward thinking with crypto. They have approved a tax exemption on all crypto capital gains until 2029. How much does that mean? No tax on crypto gains until 2029? Well done. So hopefully this puts pressure on the rest of the world. It's a future, bro. The growth rates are high. You're going to want to get everyone in. Okay, because if you don't get everyone in, another country's going to get everyone in. Check this out as well, friends. Donald Trump and his family have announced a new $500 smartphone. Now, I'll be honest. When I saw this, I thought it was fake Photoshop. I thought someone was trolling. Apparently, it's real. Trump Mobile. Make America great again. Are you going to get this phone? What do you think about this phone? They say it's gold-plated, but is it? $500. Very interesting. A lot of people just call it like one big grift. Just using the name and branding on everything out here. But, you know, we're not here to judge that part, friends. Like, you know, you want him to go shill crypto. He's got to make money himself. We don't care. Who gives a shit, dude? Just get the megaphone out. Crypto sells itself, right? We don't need anybody to say, like, super particularly nice things about it. Just start talking about it. Also, friends, I'll play some PUBG music. Remember, politicians, they don't care about you and me. They don't care. They never care. They don't even know our names. They don't give a shit. They literally don't care. Okay? They are seeking power. They are seeking control. They want the people to love them. But the people is not a people's, one person's. Okay? It's a large cohort organism. Okay? They just see, you know, up the polls and stuff out here. That's what they want. Okay? They don't care about you and me. They will lie. You know, I mean, Trump, even if you don't lie, you're compromised to some degree. We know that. So here's the thing, man. We have the power of the internet, the power of friendship. I'm giving you the highest value content in crypto. I'm telling you that it's a waste of time. Committing to this stuff is futile. You're a blue pill cuck if you get any information from their news sources, and whether or not what they tell you is true changes nothing about your financial status anyway. You're going to keep going back to your job, living your life, having an opinion that doesn't matter, spinning your wheels, paying enormous inflation tax, getting debased 8% per year when they only tell you it's 3%, which is a load of shit. Okay? So if you want to be the good sheep, right? The follow the orders type of person. Okay, dude. Okay. It's just like when they're debasing that much, when all of this stuff is going on, it's not, oh, cool, let's go join the movement of the government. It's not that anymore. It's you're going to be poorer in the next 10 years because everything that you want to buy is appreciating by 5% differential compared to what you're being paid every single year. So if you understand compound interest, keep doing the maths on 5% compounding for the next 10 years. And if you want, friends, in a very family-friendly way, I will use a calculator right here, and we'll actually type in 1.05 to the power of 10. There you go, 62%. My gosh. My gosh. So is that inverse, friends? So you'll be like what? My gosh, you'll be like 62% poorer in 10 years. Wow, dude, that's huge. But that's how they pay off the debt. That's how they pay it off. All right, so someone's going to have to be bag holding. Coinbase have sought SEC approval to offer blockchain-based stonks. So maybe we're finally going to get the securitization narrative. This was back in 2020. That's why, friends, 2021 bull market, it caught a lot of people by surprise. How? Because everyone believed 2020 DeFi was going to continue into 2021. We all believed it. That's what I was like reading about and stuff. There was tokenization, securitization. There was all the DeFi stuff we're hearing about now. They said that was coming in 2021. But then in 2021, none of it came out. All the devs were just dumping the shit out of their tokens. Chainlink, Aave, they were just dumping the crap out of everything. Immediately, synthetics, just everything got dumped. And we just had Dogecoin mania. Yeah. We had Dogecoin mania. We had gaming mania as well. Gaming narrative, Dogecoin, NFTs. Yeah, it was just totally different. That's why if you're in Soylana, if you are currently performing fellatio on one of the LA vape cabals out here, so I'm just telling you, that's an interesting point, how whatever was big in the Bitcoin halvening year, it was not the next sexy hot thing in the year after. So it's where we are right now. So if you match 2020 to 2024, maybe DeFi was like the Soylana season, and now you have 2025, maybe it's like 2021. Well, we're hoping that, right? There's been this long interim period out here, but whatever comes and sparks everybody's attention with money-making stuff, it is something to think about. And it doesn't take a genius to figure that out, because most of the JPEG memes on Soylana, I mean, they're dead anyway, and they're just making new ones, right? So how long can that possibly last? But yeah, we'll see, I guess, how it all plays out. So the next narrative, man, we're going to be blockchain-based stocks. So they're going to have to probably do blacklist function on that for sure. Bybit are going to challenge Hyperliquid. They're going to launch their DEX centralized exchange trading thing with an order book called Buy Real. I think it's on Soylana as well. So Hyperliquid is EVM, but I think they have their own chain thing. I don't know how it works, but it's pretty cool. Hyperliquid is very, very successful. Now it's inviting competition. Probably Buy Real, probably Binance are coming on. Personally, I would be excited. I want to trade stock. This is me, okay? But don't listen to me, okay? I'll be interested to see if they could put stocks on there. Maybe the top 20 NASDAQ stocks, right? Tesla, Amazon, Netflix, whatever it is, the top 10 to 20. Can they put CFDs of oil? Yeah. Can they put CFDs of the other stuff? We already have Pax Gold, right? Can they also put the CFDs of indices? They'll put the S&P 500, the NASDAQ, the Dow. Can we do that? Now, why that's going to be interesting is because we'll just have more of the world watching overnight markets when the NASDAQ's closed on the weekends. Yeah. And it'll just be interesting if we see moves eventually happen. It'll just make the world go, oh crap, we've got to start actually taking this stuff seriously, where we have weekend trading and stuff out here. And then what about the currency spreads as well? The pound, the yen and everything. It'll be a bit wild if they can actually start, surely they'll be able to. They just start trading and pushing these stuff around. Man, I'm very, very excited for crypto once we start having these big networks. But then we are literally TradFi at that point. And it's probably, we are building towards an exotic top signal, right? Indicator where crypto is probably added as a basket to the NASDAQ, right? We actually have an index out here. Now, friends, this is the Chainlink price being a pooper out here. But what I want to show you is, apparently there was some oil movements that happened as well. Might go through it a bit as well. So oil had a bit of a spike, but it's like a lower high spike. Let's check it out. I guess oil, it's kind of interesting, right? War goes bad. No, it's fake. And then you're doing like the lower high part. But the news is correlating to it. It goes up, comes back down, does this. Be interesting where we are right now. Oh, wow. We have yes, we haven't touched a 61.8. Maybe like the war maybe it heats up even more when it comes around here. Oh, no, we are around the 61.8. So it's just interesting how these things play out, man. The news correlating to these fibs and stuff out here. The Estrogen Union says trade talks with the US are advancing. I wanted to put this out here to show you how little we care now. You see how this see this war stuff? We're gonna feel as fatigued about, you know, how we feel about, say, Russia, Ukraine, and the trade tariffs. We're gonna feel like that about this Iran-Israel stuff. You know, just to remind you, I want to tell you about the news is Fugazi. Because I remind you, oh, Russia, Ukraine, I feel, oh, you always see just the same rainbow flag person with a Ukraine flag and an Israel flag. Like when you see that person on Twitter, yeah, just watch out. You know you're about to hear a state-sponsored, blue-pilled cuck response. And it's always a puberty blocking hormone taker supporter. It's always like a 7-time vaxxer. You know what I mean? Person still wearing the mask. You know, it's the same person type. But I feel sorry for them. I really do. I do have empathy for them because they believe in nothing. They have nothing to believe in. They're the perfect vehicle for a government. They're so perfect. Like they literally latch on to everything thrown their way, right? All the PsyOps. They're like, hey, we'll give you 2 views to have, view A or view B, and then it makes them think that, oh, I've actually got 2 choices. No, you got 1 choice, their choice, you know. So that's how we're gonna feel about this war going on. I'm sure you're not surprised. Treasury Secretary Bessent says crypto stablecoins can lower government borrowing costs and reduce national debt. Once again, stablecoin supercycle. It confirms every single day. Stablecoins, stablecoins, stablecoins. Look at his quote here. All right. So Bessent, I'll show you his picture. Remember, friends, Treasury Secretary Bessent, this dude is more important than the US Fed. Okay. Just so you know. Right here. Okay, he's controlling the bad girl Janet Yellen book. And he is like, I think he was a trader and stuff, like a hedge fund dude. So he understands liquidity and all these things. And it's very important we listen to him. In terms of like, he might give clues like when the next big spending spree is happening. So look at his quote. A thriving stablecoin ecosystem will drive demand from the private sector for US treasuries, which back the stablecoins. This newfound demand could lower government borrowing costs and help rein in the national debt. So this is basically exercising greater control and power for the US dollar, which is exactly why they are very inclined to get this stablecoin supercycle underway. Because when we say stablecoin supercycle, you and I, we keep saying $1. But which dollar? $1 US. Yeah. You don't want 1 yen. You don't want 1 euro, 1 pound, 1 Kiwi dollar. You don't want 1 rand. You don't want any of them, right? You want 1 US dollar. World government power. And the government knows that, and that's why it's higher probabilities they'll let this happen. Now, in more news as well, $4 trillion evil scum JP Morgan has met with the SEC Crypto Task Force to discuss the impact of existing capital markets moving to public blockchains. So let me translate that for you. The corrupt SEC is a puppet wing arm for the US Fed. The US Fed has private owners that no one's allowed to know. Newsflash, JP Morgan is one of those owners. So JP Morgan is basically going to their employee workers off the grid and telling them, hey, there's a lot of risks with this public blockchain stuff. So we should definitely only allow us banks to issue stablecoins and to give out yield. Let's ban all this other shit. And they will do that. They are doing that right now. Evil Genius Act. Case my point has been proven already. Okay, so that's what they get translation when they do these meetings. That's what it's for, to give them a big advantage in that department. The oil price rose over 55% following reports US is planning on joining the war against Iran. Kind of funny. Have you met anybody who said wants to go, dude? There's PsyOps. There has to be some sort of non-human intelligence, demonic force. Something's going on there, dude. I walk around society Where's the person who wants to go bomb them? I don't find them. No one wants to go. Literally no one. No one wants to go. You know who wants to go? Every single state-sponsored government voice. They want to go. Because they're hammered from the government. I haven't met a single person. Please tell me, do you Normie friends? Do you Normie friends go, yeah, let's go bomb, let's go nuke them. Let's go nuke them all. I don't know, friends. Other people like that? I don't. Maybe it's just the people I hang out with, or I see it on Twitter. I don't see that, dude. I don't. You know, so yeah, man. There's a lot more. This is just like playing into the hands of everything, right? If you watch my UFO videos, you know exactly where this is all coming from. Kraken incubated Ethereum Layer 2 chain plans to launch and airdrop a new ink token. So Kraken launching an Ethereum Layer 2. What are they going to do there? Interesting. I wonder what they're going to do there. It could be, see, it's weird. Like if you launch an Ethereum Layer 2 or any Layer 2 chain, you probably want to deploy, if you're at exchange, you probably want to allow, you know, people to come and trade there, non-KYC. But how's it non-KYC? Because the Layer 2 itself is just one sequencer button. You can just disable it anyway. So like, they're probably in just like some weird gray regulatory spot, arbitrage spot. Which, look, here's the thing. Even though Layer 2s are poop, friends, the thing is, they're actually still cycle 1. Okay? They're still in their first cycle. Now, that's probably why, even if you want to consider them cycle 2, maybe consider them cycle 2, whatever it is. But it's not cycle 3 for the Ethereum Layer 2s. So we might get one pump for them. Somewhere. They just correlate with Ethereum. They try to do their own stuff and the winners win. And then the bear market comes. But what we might find in the bear market next is it turns out, you know, they have to do KYC on certain stuff and there's more regulation and stuff comes out here. So otherwise, like, think about it. If you're at Layer 2, how are you going to get people in? If you're an exchange, you can force people in. That's you, though. What about all the other chains? Like, what's possibly good on any other Layer 2 chain? You all do the same stuff, right? Memes, cults, religions. Yeah, the coins just deploy anywhere anyway. Okay. What do you have? You have a centralized exchange order book. Like that's how much money is there really for that? You know, you have Hyperliquid eating lunch. What if Binance, what if the big exchanges, they just launch their own freaking Hyperliquid chains? There you go. Right. It's literally finished for these other chains. I don't know how they're going to compete. You literally, that's why, friends, an advantage with PulseChain, because we care and people do care. Yeah. Now, you might think they're nutcases. You might think they're deranged. It doesn't matter what you think. They care, though. You can't deny they don't care. All right? So, the fact that people care is its edge. That's alpha. Yeah? They get tattoos of this. Who's got an Arbitrum tattoo? Who's got an Optimism tattoo on their ass? Okay? I want to see that girl. Show me that girl. You got an Optimism tattoo? Right? They don't exist. No one's killing anybody because they want them to go bridge to Starknet. There are 4 users there, and one of them is probably Eric Wall, just testing it for them still. You see, no one cares about this stuff. So what are they all going to possibly do? I don't know. We'll see. For the rest of us, though, caught between war, waiting for a resolution to this. Where are we going from here? If we look at that BTC price, we're still hovering above 100,000. That's pretty good out here. So, hanging around here, friends, as I've pretty much told you as well, in case we get a little skitsy here, in case we have, you know, don't go throw yourself all into the deep end thinking that, you know, we have to go up. I know it's been such a forever freaking long time, but it is what it is, okay? We'll take it one step at a time. Like, subscribe, bell button, all. Catch you soon.